the Elder Sentinel flagship, Starbane, exited from hyperspace on the far edge of the Andromeda expanse, its quantum-coated hull refracting starlight into dazzling displays. Ambassador Tian Morn stood at the observation window, his reflective scales shifting from cobalt blue to emerald green with anticipation. This mission was supposed to be a routine first contact with another rising civilization, but something in the sensor readings was unsettling. Ambassador, called his science officer, Velek from her station. Her tentacles flickered anxiously as she studied the data. I'm detecting anomalies. Tian glided over to her station. What do you mean? The humans, Velek said, her voice laced with disbelief, they're using a bizarre combination of technologies. They're burning fossil fuels and using antimatter fields simultaneously. Their cities have primitive electrical grids alongside quantum computing. It's as if they're intentionally blending archaic methods with cutting-edge science. Tian paused, his own heart heavy with confusion. Perhaps they simply had an uneven technological development, he suggested, though his scales rippled with doubt. In his centuries of service, he'd never encountered such a strange paradox. As they neared the blue-green world, more anomalies unfolded. The humans had detected their arrival immediately, despite not having advanced sensor technology. Their landing site, in a place called Nevada, was perfectly aligned with the ship's landing specifications, strange, since Earth supposedly had never encountered any alien vessels before. What disturbed Tian most was that the welcoming party was minimal, just 3 humans, wearing simple clothes, standing in the barren desert heat. This doesn't feel right, Velek muttered as preparations were made to disembark. Tian agreed in silence, though he remained outwardly calm. Their orders were clear: establish contact and integrate Earth into the galactic community. The ramp descended, and Tian began his prepared speech. Yet, before he could speak, a woman stepped forward. "Welcome to Earth, Ambassador Tian Morn," she said in flawless, lilting Elder Sentinel tongue. "I'm Dr. Alara Metzer, Earth's diplomatic liaison. I trust your journey was pleasant. The stellar winds in this region can be quite unpredictable at times." Tian's second heart skipped a beat. The humans had never been informed of their exact route, nor could they possibly know the local weather patterns in the Solarian Rift. "You speak our language?" Dr. Metzer smiled, a hint of warmth in her gaze. "We like to be well prepared," she said, before guiding them to a nearby building. From the outside, it appeared as a simple structure of concrete, but Tian's sensors detected impossible energy readings within. The door opened with an old-fashioned mechanical handle, but the interior was perfectly calibrated to their species' needs. "Please, make yourselves comfortable," Dr. Metzer gestured to chairs that adjusted themselves to fit their anatomy. "Would you care for refreshments? We have prepared a traditional drink from your people, or perhaps some human coffee." Velek's tentacles tightened, a sign of her growing unease. "How do you know about our traditions?" "Trial and error," a man's voice answered, as another figure stepped forward. "I'm Dr. Lien Solari, technological advisor. We're quite adept at learning from mistakes." His smile was warm, but there was a strange sense of confidence in his eyes that unnerved Tian. "Thank you," Tian said, accepting a cup of the dark beverage. As he sipped, he realized the ceramic cup held the liquid at an exact, optimal temperature, no technology visible, yet perfect functionality. Something was terribly wrong. Dr. Metzer settled into her own seat. "I'm sure you have many questions, Ambassador. Let me start with one you haven't asked. Why would a civilization capable of perfecting biochemistry and manipulating quantum fields still cling to outdated technologies like fossil fuels?" Tian's scales darkened to a deep shade of purple. "You admit it?" "Deception implies malice," a third figure interjected, her tone calm yet filled with strength. We prefer to think of it as perspective. Not all problems require the most advanced solutions. Tian's confusion deepened. But why the ruse? Dr. Metzer's eyes softened. Because wisdom isn't found in the most advanced technology, it's found in knowing when and how to use it. Humanity learned this lesson long ago. Before Tian could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. Dr. Solari checked a wristband that appeared rudimentary but projected a holographic display surpassing anything Tian had seen in his fleet. "We've been expecting this," Dr. Solari said, grimly. "Raider fleets from the Zalan expanse are closing in on Earth. They've been attacking vulnerable worlds, and they think Earth is defenseless." Dr. Metzer's demeanor shifted, the warmth replaced by an ancient, dangerous energy. "Would you like to see what humanity is really capable of, Ambassador?" she asked, her voice steady. "We've been protecting younger civilizations for millennia." Tian's mouth went dry. Before him, the walls of the facility shimmered, revealing a command center that dwarfed his flagship's bridge. The technology here was beyond his comprehension. The raider ships never knew what hit them. Their advanced weaponry, capable of laying waste to entire cities, simply halted in space. No explosions, no battles, just a sudden, unnatural standstill. "Local spacetime manipulation," Dr. Solari explained casually. "It's much cleaner than weapons, and far less paperwork." Tian stood frozen, watching in awe. The raider ships were gently guided into a holding pattern around Earth's moon. "You control spacetime?" Tian breathed. "We do," General Jarawek said, her fingers moving across what appeared to be an old mechanical console but somehow controlling the most advanced systems Tian had ever witnessed. "Now, Ambassador," Dr. Metzer said, "we've been hiding in the shadows for millennia, guiding younger civilizations. But something is coming. Something far more dangerous than these raiders. Something we've faced before. It's time we step into the light, not as conquerors, but as guides." Before Tian could respond, another message flashed across the screens. Far at the edge of their territory, an archaeological discovery was made that would shake the galaxy to its core. Dr. Vexa, leading an excavation on an ancient planet, spoke with trembling hands as she uncovered human artifacts older than any known civilization. "They were here before us," Dr. Vexa stammered. "Humanity was among the stars when my people were still learning to craft fire." Tian's heart skipped. The realization hit him like a wave. "You've concealed yourselves all this time?" "We had to," Dr. Metzer replied. "We reached the stars long before anyone else. We built empires, fought wars that extinguished stars, wielded powers beyond comprehension. Then, we realized something. True wisdom isn't about having the most powerful tools, it's knowing when not to use them." As the discovery spread, Tian understood. Humanity had once possessed godlike power, only to step back, choosing restraint instead of domination. "How did you learn to control such power?" Vilek asked, her skepticism evident. "By nearly destroying ourselves," Dr. Metzer replied somberly. "We learned that unchecked power leads to extinction. That's why Earth exists," Dr. Solari continued. "A preserve, a place to remind us of our roots. Our technology, our so-called primitive ways, teach us humility. We use them to remind ourselves of what we were, and what we almost became." Tian stood in silence, overwhelmed. The humans were not only technologically advanced, they possessed an insight into the universe that none of the Galactic Council had even imagined. "What you've been hiding, guiding, and protecting," Tian said slowly, "is more powerful than any weapon." Dr. Metzer nodded. "It's time to teach the galaxy what we've learned. The true test of any civilization is not in its weapons, but in its wisdom to know when not to use them." And so, Earth's masquerade ended. No longer a primitive, backward world, humanity revealed the true scope of its power, not to dominate, but to guide. As the darkness spread across the galaxy, humanity's influence rippled outward, ready to reshape the future, not with weapons, but with understanding.